What's up everyone, I'm going to show you how to put attachments like this hedge trimmer here on any string trimmer like this here. See that? Just a regular string trimmer. There's the hedge trimmer attachment, and it is not the attachment series. See that? Just a regular string trimmer. Let me show you guys how you can do it too easily without having to buy any extra attachment series. This will work for any of these other attachments. You see they have the pole saw, the blower, a cultivator, brush cutter, and even an edger, and then of course the hedge trimmer. And this is just made by the Trimmer Plus, which I'll do a review video on this later. But I just wanted to show you that you don't have to have a hedge trimmer. It could be any of these other things. Now, to note that this does not work on an Echo string trimmer at all. That is the PAS, so with Echo you have to buy the specific Echo string trimmer attachments to run on an Echo because the size is different. Now you could file the shaft down to make it work, but I'm not going to do that. So after you take your hedge trimmer out of the box, it has this shaft on it, and all this really is, let me take this off, all this is for, because this is for the attachment series, which is the kind that has a little screw here and the whole top part comes off, it has the shaft down here, and this is the part that actually goes down into the shaft and you spin it to tighten it, and then it works for an actual attachment series. So because this is an attachment series, we need to take this shaft off. Pretty simple. You just have two screws, you loosen them, and then it pulls out. And then you'll be left with just this empty shaft, and that will slide down in. So with the weed eater on the floor or wherever it is you're working, all you need to do is remove the screws holding this head onto the shaft. Now, it's usually about 3 or 4 screws, it could only be 2, but either way, you need to locate them wherever they may be. My 3 are just right here. And you need to take those out and just slide it off. But before you slide it off, you should mark right here with a permanent marker to where you know how far that this head needs to come back on for it to be properly engaged, for it to actually work right when you put it back on, if you ever do put it back on. Now the new attachment might not go down to that line because it may have a different depth here. So when you put your new attachment on, whether it's a hedge trimmer, pole saw, edger, just note that it may not match that line. But if you're ever going to revert your weed trimmer back to whatever it was, like an actual trimmer or brush cutter, you need to put that line there. It'll make things a lot easier for you. So after you got your head off, whether it's a brush cutter head or just a regular string trimmer head, it's important to make sure that you don't pull that shaft out and it's all the way in, as well as when you're mounting the hedge trimmer attachment or whatever attachment you're running, it's important that you have that all the way in as far as it needs to go, because if it doesn't go all the way in, it won't reach down in there, and it actually won't operate this because there's a little gearing in there it needs to reach. So make sure you have it all the way down to where that shaft is engaging in there, and make sure that that shaft is all the way down into the string trimmer, because that does pull out occasionally. So after you actually slide the hedge trimmer attachment on, it's very important to know that you have this facing the right way you want it, because as you can see, the weed eater is straight there, so pretend like you're holding it straight, and you see that this is angled. So you really want to mount this to where it's facing, you know, straight like that, in its straight position, to where it's easier to maneuver like that, just like that, if that makes sense. So you want to tighten your screws there after you've gotten this straight, just that way you can hold it straight and you can trim straight without having to do some kind of crazy angle. And then you can adjust it like that. Just trust me, that little tip will make it a lot easier. At least make sure that you do have it the way you like it. Maybe you don't like it straight. Maybe you like it angled like this while you're holding that straight. However you like it, make sure it's angled that way, and it'll make it a lot easier to use. So as you can see there, it actually does work, and it works really well. So that should save you guys a lot of money if you guys don't want to go buy a specific attachment series weed eater or hedge trimmer or anything like that. You can just buy the cheap attachments and run it on whatever string trimmer you already have now. Now, like I said in the beginning, that doesn't work on Echo. You'll have to file the Echo shaft down for it to work Echo, but I don't recommend doing that. So go on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and buy a cheap string trimmer used for like 40 bucks, 50 bucks. And there you go. That'll save you from spending a couple $100s. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.